Welcome
to Leadcast. Let's go.
Intriguing.
Without delay.
Hello and welcome to episode 356 of the Leadcast podcast. I'm your host, Nick the King Cooper. Joining me, Aiden Frost Rockhearts.
Wow, I'm here.
And Colton Blue Basket Sweat.
Wow, I'm here.
Nice, really just playing off one another like the perfect improv team.
No, I just mimic Aiden because he's funnier than me, but I know that reposts get more karma.
Oh, nice. Hey, we're going to talk about the patch that just came out. We got Meta Kaiser, a roundtable question, which an ex-host of the show has submitted for this week, which is I'm pretty excited for. LCS, a tiny bit of news, but a couple big names in there, and one email. Let's get into our weeks, starting with Aiden.
Hi, I didn't play any League. I played, how many games did we play today, Nick?
2?
I played 2 games of League this week.
And were they both losses?
No, I think we won them both. I think we won both.
Them both.
Yeah, because who plays during preseason, especially when you don't have your main account on the server that you want to play on. But hey, I played other stuff. I played PUBG and I played Pokemon and I played a lot of Kingdom Hearts. I beat all the way through Kingdom Hearts, hit 99, did all the Moogle challenges, synthed all the ultimate weapons. I beat the Lingering Will, even though I cheesed it. And then I'm working on the data battle. So if anyone knows what any of that means, then it'll be kind of cool.
And
also a nerd.
Yeah. No, that sounds fun. Is it?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I like it. It's a game that I try to replay a lot. So.
And this is the first Kingdom Hearts?
Number 2.
Oh, Kingdom Hearts 2. Are you planning to go through the previous ones before the third one comes out?
So I played through 1, and then I played through Chain of Memories, and then I just beat 2 recently.
Mm-hmm.
My plan is to go through Birth by Sleep and then Dream Drop Distance before number 3 comes out. But I have like a month and a half, so it might be a little bit tight.
Yeah, but you're out of school now, right?
Yeah,
Basically.
yeah. Other than exams and stuff, yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize you had exams still.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
When's your exams?
I have one on the 13th, the 16th, and something else. One of them was a Sunday, which kind of sucks, but...
Oh, that does suck.
Yeah, but it's not too bad. One of them's an easy class, and then the other 2 are kind of difficult.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my week.
Nice. What's your, sorry, real quick. What's your favorite Kingdom Hearts game? Is it 2?
2, yeah.
Okay, nice.
I like it a lot. I play through it all the time. It's so good.
Is that wait, so do they all have Sephiroth in them, or is that specifically...
1 and 2 both do.
Okay. Is he like the main bad guy, or?
No, he's like more like a side, like, hey, after you beat the game, he's there and you can fight him.
Oh, okay.
And he's like he's pretty hard. He's really hard in 1, and then he's like less hard in 2.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's because you already beat him once. He's afraid of me.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Anything else?
No, I'm just having fun.
Cool. Colton.
Wait, there was another thing that you did this week that you were wanting to do for a while.
It rhymes with bungins and baggins.
I thought that would be more of a Colton week thing to discuss, because it's his.
We all participated.
But it is your baby.
It is, yeah.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
You're the host.
All right, yeah, well, I guess I'll go into my week then. So first thing that happened after the podcast, boom, right away, pretty much like an hour later, we were doing, you watched JoJo, and then we did D&D, which was pretty fun. There were 7 people, which was a little tough, but I don't think it was that bad.
No, it wasn't.
I think it worked out okay. I'm still trying to figure out how to DM, but it seemed like everyone was having a good time, so hopefully I can keep that going and make some interesting things happen. Other than that, I'm watching now the newest season of Daredevil. I just finished like watching seasons 1 and 2 again, so I'm gonna start probably season 3 tonight. So I'm excited for that. I remember why I didn't like the last couple episodes of season 2 of Daredevil, but I knew that was coming, so it wasn't so bad the second time. They just don't follow their own rules, and like particularly in superhero stuff, I hate that so much. Like when you're working with straight up fiction and you want to give characters like abilities, that's fine because you can give them any ability you want, but then you should like play by those rules, right? So like he's blind, but he can like hear people moving and like track them, and he can fight, and like cool, yeah, that's fine. But like these ninjas are like, oh, they slow their heart rate and they breathe really like lightly, so he can't hear them and he has trouble fighting them. It's like, well, their arms are still moving through the air, which is much louder, and it's like he can hear a heartbeat from like 30 feet across the room, and I don't care how slow your heart is, it's still beating, and he should be able to hear it, right? Like it's just inconsistent. And that
If you stop it.
Yeah, if you have your
Only
stand,
one man
hold on to
could
your
do
heart.
that.
But no, right, like, and then it's just like, oh, but he tracks the sound of like their sword like whirring through the air, but he can't track their arms moving through the air, right? Like it's inconsistent, and I hate that, because like there are plenty of other ways you could go about explaining it other than, well, they're really, really quiet, right? Like you can just be like, they're magic, and that's fine, but that's not what they do. They just cheat their own system that they built. But other than that, yeah, I've been playing a good amount of PUBG. Only a couple like ARAMs in League. Haven't been playing too much of that. School's finishing up. I did one of my finals today and turned in a final paper, so I've got 3 next week, and then I'll be pretty much done. I have like one other like... They, at least at my school, they have you do a thing before you graduate where you have to like submit like a sample of your work, so I have to do that still too. But then I'll be done.
With your AA degree?
Associates in Science. I think it's AS.
Okay.
But
Awesome.
yeah, and then figure things out from there. What have you been up to, Nick Cooper?
I recently, before I get into my week, I suppose, I recently finished or watched the JoJo Mother's Basement video.
Hell yeah.
Which was super good. It reminded me of a couple fun parts of JoJo that I may have forgotten about. Glad to see the Tony episode mentioned, because that's probably my favorite of part 4.
So good.
That's very good. I've played a little bit of League. I played a lot today because I didn't have work, and yeah, that's, I guess, yeah, just a bunch of ARAMs. I don't think we played any normals. And a little bit of PUBG, not as much as them, but I've been playing Arafel as well, and that game's really good. Definitely reminds me a lot of Golden Sun, and I like that game a lot. So getting through that. But I think that's about it. I mean, I have my final tomorrow as of recording, so I'll be done with my schooling for a month, which will be pretty nice. Yeah. You guys want to get into the show?
Yeah, the patch notes.
Hey, well, we got our ad read first, because this is our last
Ooh.
episode sponsored by GameFlip. But it is sponsored by GameFlip. And thank you to GameFlip for sponsoring us. It's a website built to offer gamers a one-stop shop for all services related to League. They're the place to go to learn how to build faster in Fortnite, dominate with a custom-built Hearthstone deck, or find any gaming services related to League, including more efficient jungling, pathing, personalized coaching, or even finding custom Twitch emotes, all backed by their 100% cashback guarantee, and all brought together on a single site. Currently, their beta period ended last week, so the bonus for sellers is gone, but you can still market your services there for anything from macro or micro league, organizing tournaments, creating custom Twitch emotes or overlay, or anything in between. You can market your services there, and if you're in the market to find those services, you can find them as a buyer. So yeah, thank you to GameFlips for sponsoring us, and you can head over to gameflip.com/gigs to sign up. GAMEFLIP.com/GIGS. Thank you, GameFlips. GameFlip. Yeah, let's talk about the patch. You had a patch come out today, basically.
Game's
Yeah.
broken,
Patch
unplayable.
8.24. Nico was released.
Yeah, it's kind of small, but they also mentioned that there's going to be a 8.24b that comes out before the season starts.
Mm-hmm.
That will be only like balance changes. So
Nice.
this might be a little bit light on balance changes.
Nice. Yeah, but Nico came out, Winter Wonder Nico, and all of her chromas. That's a good looking skin.
Yeah, Aatrox, his Q no longer deals bonus damage to monsters.
Interesting. I didn't realize it did 10% more damage.
Yes, you can jungle Aatrox like everyone is doing. Akali, W duration decreased, so the Shroud's not out there for as long, and the max extension is lowered as well. Okay. Yeah, it was way too long. What?
Oh, your mic cut out a little bit.
Oh, my bad.
Okay. So I mean, it probably picked it up. We just couldn't hear it. I don't know if this fixes Akali. I feel like a huge portion of her issue comes with the healing from her passive or from her Q.
I mean, all of her problems come from the fact that her Shroud is true invis, but
I
that's
mean,
the-
yeah, but that seems like something that they're unwilling to flinch on.
I mean, there's like they don't have to get rid of the true invis part. They just have to make it like a balanced ability, like it make it so that she's out of invis for longer when she uses an ability or something.
Yeah, because I feel like as an AD carry, if you don't have enough attack speed, you just can't damage her.
No,
Like,
she goes back in way before like
Mhm.
you click on her and she's back in it already. Like it's
Yeah,
impossible.
You need to be like mashing your right click on the spot you think she's gonna appear to hit it.
Yeah, I don't know. They need to do something about that, but
We'll see. Yeah. Camille, attack speed decreased slightly.
I think it does nothing.
Yeah.
Galio. So there's a lot of Galio changes here. So Q cost decreased, wind blast damage increased, tornado flat damage removed, but max health damage increased. E is faster but deals less damage to non-champions. R no longer grants damage reduction or longer knockup versus enemies in the center. So what we're getting from this is Galio is buffed in offensive compositions but nerfed in defensive compositions. So if you're building a comp around, say, like a carry, like a AD carry, where you're like building Galio to ult them every fight so they have reduced damage or reduced damage taken, that's just like not as good anymore. It's still
It just doesn't work though because there's
I
no
mean-
damage reduction.
but you can still build it around the fact that, hey, you have an AD carry that you can ult on and save them in fights. You know what I mean? Like you're still putting a fucking beefy mid laner on your AD
It's
carry.
just less effective.
Yeah, but like everything else is a huge buff to like offensive compositions, right? Where you're like want to be initiating and stuff like that, rather than just peeling for a character, which I think is a cool way to take the character. Honestly, it's kind of like they mentioned that it's mainly because he's been shining in pro play, where it's like more coordinated and stuff. So this should hopefully like help out solo queue without making pro play like overpowered.
Yeah.
Next up, Heimerdinger.
Yikes.
Some slight buffs, some bug fixes, some tooltip fixes. So first fix is the turret beam attack now actually scales with cooldown reduction. His W looks like max damage is up. Individual missile damage is up. No, okay,
Only
so
on
if you hit one missile, it's the same, but if you hit multiple, it does more.
Only on the upgraded W.
Oh, only on upgrade. Okay, so
Yeah.
if you get that big W alt or alt W, it'll do more damage now.
So they also there's a bug that currently exists.
Bug. I mean, like it was on the PvE and like for like 3 or 2 weeks, and then they didn't ever fix it. So who knows if it's a bug or they intentionally tried to put it in there.
It's gotta be a bug.
I mean, it was on the PvE and people reported it for 2 weeks. Is my thing.
Yeah.
Hit Colton. His E. It used to be a 1.25 seconds stun, right? If you hit it, you know what it is now. 0.25.
0.5. Oh, 0.25. Nice.
Yeah.
It's still fine
It's
for his
less.
ulted E. It's just for the
No.
base E.
I don't think so.
I played against it today, and it was.
Oh, I watched a video and it showed that
Oh.
it. Well, it at least says it isn't. But
Well, I don't recall his normal E, which I thought was the problem, but his upgraded E seemed like fine. Maybe I get
Okay.
hit with more than one application and that applied the full stun. I don't know.
yeah, either way, big nerf if that's
Shit's
actually what they
fucked
tried
with
to do.
Fire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alawi, her E cooldown is decreased early and her ultimate cooldown is decreased late.
I don't think that changes much about her because you have to max E either way because that's where all your damage comes from. So it's a, I guess, buff level 1 and level 2 sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first couple levels, and then it's like fine after that. And then her alt change, she's a split pusher. Like you go split push a lane, and then you're like by the time you die and get back to the lane, your alt's already back up either way with the 20 seconds off or not. I don't know.
Yep.
I feel like they should have taken time off the beginning of it. I think.
Yes.
Oh well. Not
Yeah,
who am
they
I?
should have taken, what, like 20 seconds rank 1, 10 seconds rank 2, no seconds rank 3.
Yeah, something like that. Honestly, though,
Or like
I think I would.
15, 10, 5 even. But
Yeah.
definitely, like, yeah, at this point, like, by the time you really get that strong difference, you're already going to have, like, 20, 30% CDR, and it won't really make a difference.
Yeah. Speaking of changes not really making a difference, Irelia, W cooldown increased early, damage reduction reduced, no longer grants passive on cast. I think the only change that matters there is that it doesn't like give her passive. But like the damage reduction being nerfed by 10% and the cooldown being nerfed by 4 at level 1, it means very little.
So I feel like that means even less because I'm reading it says you still gain stacks if you hit an enemy,
Oh.
but you don't get one immediately as you cast it.
Oh, cool.
So it's even less than it seems.
It's like W is not an ability that you cast multiple times in a fight, so it really doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Like,
Yeah, and right, like, even at 20 seconds, like, early game, which, again, it scales down to the same cooldown at max level, early game, that's going to be, like, one combo from a character, and you still get to block the whole thing. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
So...
You block 10% more damage, but that's not what's killing people.
10% less damage, yeah, but it's still right.
10%
Like
less,
the,
yeah.
the Jace all ins you, and he's got to wait 20 seconds for his cooldowns to come back up, so your W is going to be back up anyway,
Yeah.
or roughly that, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, Jax, his ultimate on hit base damage is reduced late game.
Once again, a fucking shit change that does nothing to the game.
Yeah, that's just about nothing. Yeah, that's not how you fix Jax.
Like, let's nerf, like, let's just, like, Jax is so, like, once again, it's like, hey, here's, like, the pinnacle of, like, late game characters. Let's nerf his late game damage a little bit. He's still, like, one of the best late game characters in the game. It doesn't change anything.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly doesn't change his interaction with Conqueror, his interaction with Essence Reaver.
It's just,
His
I don't know.
ability to dodge every attack for 3 seconds and then stun you.
Yeah.
It just seems crazy. Sorry, it's your turn, Nick.
Oh, LeBlanc, W cooldown increased early.
This is a good change. This is a
think
really
so,
good
too.
change, though. Because, like, here's another thing to note when you're looking at changes, I guess, for people. So it's 14 to 18 seconds at level 1, and then it's like, so it's a 4-second difference, then a 3-second difference, then a 2-second difference, all the way down to max rank it's even. All that you really care about is the first 3 levels, really. Like, for the most part. Because that's, like, up to level 5 in lane. So that's, like, laning phase, right? Knocking 4 seconds off at level 1 is good because she shouldn't just be able to use it freely like that. But after that, like, it's such a small nerf that it doesn't affect her that much, but it does kind of, like, gimp how she can use it improperly, really, which I like.
It just, curtails her early game a little bit and makes you actually be good at LeBlanc. And I think, specifically, even if you look right at the levels where it was 14 and now it's 18, where, again, like, assuming roughly 30 seconds per wave, before she could use it twice, now she can probably only get it off once in a wave. Which, again, like,
Exactly.
4 seconds doesn't seem huge, but when you say it that way, right, like, 1 W wave versus 2, that's big.
I agree. I think that's like a good way to balance her a little bit. And if they need to nerf her more, then that's fine. But like, I'm glad they did it this way, like just a small thing. But here's a character that didn't do small change to Victor. Q
Wait, no,
base
it's my
damage.
turn.
I'm after Nick. What do you mean?
I don't know. I haven't gone.
Nick
for a
read
while.
that. No, yes, you have. You fucking
did
did
Heimer.
Jax.
No, I
You
didn't,
did
I
Jax.
didn't do Jax. I didn't do
Yes,
Jax.
you
It wasn't
did.
me. It wasn't me.
Victor, Q base damage decreased, cooldown increased, E ratio increased, cooldown decreased. So Victor is dead again. Like, I don't know, man. They increase his Q cooldown, reduce the damage of it by a lot. Like the actual missile part, like obviously the empowered auto part's the better part of it, but still nerfing it by 30 damage is pretty big late game. And then like they're just adding more AP ratios. Where Victor's like a character. Victor's not fucking good until he gets like 500 AP. Like, I don't know.
I feel like he's not even good until, well,
I think he's a
Yeah.
3-item character, like a 3 to 4 item character.
I think he's playable when you have 1250, and then he's good once you get to 3 or 4 items.
I don't know. And they're making him more like reliant on like having a ton of AP, which once again in the current meta is not good for him. Like, don't get me wrong, when he hits like 4 or 5 items, he's fucking strong, right? But he kind of like he's not going to do anything until that point now, honestly. Like,
He's gonna wave clear. That's not
yeah,
gonna be good
maybe
enough.
if you go Emax first with the empower upgrade.
Well, it
Yeah,
seems like
I
you
don't know.
kind
I
of
think
have to with this now.
we might see it come back a little bit. Honestly, like that slight buff to his E, with the 0.1 ratio and then the 1 second off the cooldown. Like, I could definitely see that bringing back a Victor mid, especially with like tower plating how it is. Or like if you remember when Victor was really popular, and I think like Faker was the best example of it. He was just under your tower the whole time. Like, you'd never got to leave your tower if Faker was playing Victor once he had the E upgrade. So I think we might see it as like a mid lane push like crazy and get that tower plating.
Yeah, I guess maybe.
I don't know, because I don't think control mages are like scaling control mages are great right now. But if we were to see Victor, I think that's why and how we would see him just constantly pushing with like an aggressive jungler and just getting that tower plating with trip damage.
I feel like my only argument against that is that we're not seeing those currently being played. Like, we're not seeing the Ziggs get played. We're not seeing Xerath get played. Like, those champions that just wave clear with 1 or 2 spells and then, chip the turret like you were saying.
What
Granted,
percentage?
the meta might shift, but
What percentage does Zig's satchel charge do like at max rank?
I believe at rank 1, it's 20 or 25%. Oh, at max rank?
Yeah.
I think max
I
rank
think
is 25%.
How many tower platings can that take off? 1.5.
Ooh, yeah. Because
Wait.
there's 5, right? So it's just
Towers are
every
now 5,000
20%.
health though, right? 35% of 5,000. That's a lot.
That's
Be like 15 or
10,
1750.
1050.
Yeah. 1750.
I think Colton's right.
Yeah. You're right.
Math.
That's a lot.
Quick maths.
That is
Cool.
quick math. We have some skill shot targeting with flash changes. So I guess when you are using a skill shot and then flash, the interactions are being changed. Q and W with Ezreal, W with Kaisa, Ultimate with Aurelia, Aatrox with W. I didn't realize those were problems.
I think they were just inconsistent, probably. And Riot's hopefully trying to be like, that thing we always talk about, where we're like, I wonder how this works on this character. And it's like, well, it's this type of ability. It should work this way. And then we test it and it doesn't. It's just that stuff where we're like, these should all work the same way. I think... sorry, I don't want to take your spot, Aiden. Is it your turn now, or is it mine? I don't know.
It is.
Aiden's turn currently.
Okay.
Clone debuff visuals. We finally got to doing this while working on Nico. If a champion is affected with a debuff when they create a clone, the clone will also have that debuff.
I don't know if I like this.
I think it's a good thing.
I feel like you don't have a debuff when you make a clone. Forehead. I'm sure it's not going to matter that much, but
Yeah.
whatever.
I also find it hilarious that they had to wait until Nico came out to do this.
Well, they probably didn't have a reason to dedicate resources to this until they made another clone champ.
It's kind of like what
Yeah.
the way Nick looked at it. Like, it probably won't make a difference in 99% of scenarios. So,
Yeah.
like, why work on it? But when you have a character whose passive is literally creating clones, you probably need to consider it. Like,
Creating clones
Yeah,
more
right, she's-
frequently than like LeBlanc or Shaco.
She does it way more, but it's also, I don't know, to me, like that's been a core part of Shaco's kit for 8 years.
I mean,
Yeah.
sure, but I don't think they're dedicating a lot of resources to Shaco
Nope.
because he's not getting played.
Yeah, because he's garbage and they want to make money on a new champ.
I mean, yeah. That's
Animation
how you run a business.
updates. So they are updating some animations, including Alistair's run animation while he's trampling, Fiora's walk animation without boots, Karma's fast run, Shaco new run animation entirely, Victor new walk animation without boots. So maybe he's got like that dope cane walk that was on Reddit. Did you guys see that?
The only one
Yeah.
of these I saw was I don't know if this is it, the Shaco fast run.
They have, like, a
Throws
ton of them.
daggers behind his back like a Naruto run.
No, he doesn't. He the one I saw at least, he was riding like the like a tricycle. It looked pretty good.
That's so good. It's
It
so
looked pretty
good.
good.
they have a ton
They
of
should
them,
make-
though. Like, they've been posting them a lot. Like, I'm not sure if you saw this Alistair one. It's really, really cool.
I haven't. Oh, that's pretty interesting.
They should make like a circus clown Shaco and he just like gets out of a little car and his traps are like little like flower, the little flowers that squirt water.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be so good, just like a traditional clown Shaco.
Is this for trample?
That I think it's just like a
fast
home
run.
guard.
Fast run. Yeah.
Yeah, like here's a compilation of like they've been working on these, I guess, like just like behind the scenes to see if they look good, sort of thing. They're really, really cool though. Like there's a
Nice.
ton of them. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Your turn.
Ooh, my turn. Visual effects and sound effects updates for
You can just list the
Anivia.
characters.
Yeah, for Anivia, for Mundo, for Gragas, for Renekton, for Teemo. The Mundo one looks really good.
They all look really good, honestly. The Nivea wall looks like better than the fucking like 4 pieces of ice that it used to look like for 7 years. So I'm glad they fixed that. It looks good. Items. Death's Dance. Healing now works on all damage, which is a nice change. That's just like a
that's good.
straight buff no matter what, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Just a straight
absolutely.
buff. Eye of Herald can no longer be activated during combat with non-minions. So if you're fighting monsters or champions, you can't channel Herald.
Hey, they removed Poacher's Dirk.
Finally, it's ass.
Yikes.
I saw a post on Reddit pointing out bugs with it, and then a couple days later, or maybe the next day, they just remove it from the game.
Yikes! I used to like that item. Like whenever I Smurf, it's like a good. It's just like a fucking win more item, though, right? Like you
Yeah.
get 2 of them, you fucking go to the enemy jungle, take 8 camps, like you win the game. Dark Harvest. So they gutted Dark Harvest even more. On top of their mid-patch balance updates, they've lowered the damage again to 20 to 60 scaling, and it can no longer proc off other procs such as Luden's Scorch. Not Luden's. Yeah,
Nope, Luden's it's still.
Scorch
Luden's is the
Leanders
only
it
one that
can't.
it can. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like Scorch, Leandres, and stuff like that it can't proc off of. Cool.
Man, it seems like it was almost overtuned when they released it, and they should test these things. Like, really, you had to hard nerf it twice after it came out. Like, who tested it?
The
Who
base
tested it
damage
and
has
said
gone
that's
down
fair?
by what, 60%?
60%,
Halved at level
yep.
1.
Well, it used to be 50.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And don't forget that the damage per soul has also dropped.
Yep.
What was it, 10?
Almost.
Was it 10 before?
No,
It was 8
but-
initially, and it dropped to 5
Yeah.
per soul.
So it's who tested it? Honestly.
It's like the fucking the Jana. Was it the Jana changes? That's what it was. What was it? That patch, the crazy one, where it's just like the character's OP. It
Was it
Fuck.
AP Galio?
wasn't. I want to say it was Jana, but Jana doesn't make sense.
AP Galio on release was pretty fucked when his Q could do like 95% of your max health. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I think that might have been what we're thinking of. I don't know.
Patch
That was
80
ridiculous
Warwick.
too. There's been some poor decisions, but hey, they're fixing it, so I guess I can't really fault them for it.
Yeah.
Merkwolves, that's you, I think.
It's your turn.
Oh, it's my turn. I don't know, dude. I can't follow a simple order of
I
one,
feel
two,
like Colton's
three.
the only one who wants us to maintain order, and now he's not
It
sticking to
really doesn't matter, but I want
It doesn't. Merkwolves and Raptors now spawn a little bit later, not at 128, but at 130. And it says it's a jungle, but it's really a mid lane change. Just so mid laners don't steal them, I guess, or interfere.
Well, so they're more vulnerable to interference before they get to lane.
Yeah.
Next splits, it's coming back for Snowdown.
Hey, yeah,
So
it is.
We'll see when it comes out. I'm excited.
cool. Wait. The new bounty system broke old bounty system on maps that didn't switch over. Oh, maps that just weren't Summoner's Rift. Okay, cool.
Damn, my bounties on Ascension were the best.
There's no bounties on ARAM, right?
There is, but I think they're
There are.
super reduced.
Yeah.
Because like I remember when the new
Yes,
bounty
we're
system came out.
Dominion.
Sorry, but I know when the new bounty system came out, Nick, I was like, oh, there's no bounties on this map. But I wasn't sure if now I'm not sure, were they just broken? There was bounties before? Or was there never bounties on ARAM?
I think there were always bounties.
Huh.
I think. I'm not sure.
Hotkeys hotkeys. Some extra champion interactions. So there are now some hotkeys for champion specific interaction.
Well, for
So-
champions that have an extra menu, like Kindred
Oh, okay,
or
that's what it's saying.
Nico,
Yeah,
you can hit Shift F1 through Shift F5 to interact
To like
with
make
them.
your mark. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. Ranked. You can see your rank after one game for your placements. Tier and divisions: Iron slots in below Bronze, and Grandmaster snuggles in between Master and Challenger. Division 5 was removed from all tiers. Boys, I've made it to D4.
Promised
Thank you. I've made
You
it,
did
friends. Colton and I are now the same rank.
No, I have more points.
Yeah, the same rank. But yeah, so there's also ranked armor, which you can display on your profile, and ranked UI will get a clarity pass at the end of the game, and a variety of changes on the rank dashboard.
Yeah. Out of the bug fixes, the only one that kind of is funny is the Alistar one, the Alistar combo, where
Except, go
yeah, I
ahead,
know.
sorry.
I'll get to it. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm bringing it up for a reason. Slow down. So this last patch, someone discovered that you, instead of doing WQ, which gives you 1.5 seconds of CC, I believe, plus your E after, you can W press B as like your recall button while you're in midair for W, and then Q, and you get the full W stun duration and then your Q without displacing them. So it's just more CC for the exact same combo. And then it obviously makes it so you can actually hit your E easier after because you have more CC. But little did they know you can also proc it with Tiamat. So now you can just W Tiamat if you want and do the exact same combo. So they're probably gonna fix that next patch.
Yeah, we'll see. I saw that this morning, and I thought it was really funny.
I'm really happy about this because I didn't want to learn that combo. I saw it and I was like, I'm gonna have to learn this before I start playing ranked this season.
Mm-hmm.
And now I
Yeah, I'm
don't.
very glad you don't have to do that. Did you ever try it, Aiden?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, me either.
Like, I think it would have taken like a few minutes, but I just didn't want to, right? Plus, it
Yeah.
would have been even worse if you fucked it up. You just W, you're just recalling, and your team's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bop them away and recall. He's stinting.
We have some more skins coming out. You wanna run us through those, Colton?
Ooh, Ice King Twitch, so cool. Frozen Prince Mundo, so cold. Winter Wonder Soraka, it's chilly. Snowman Yi, the frozen Wuju guy. They all look pretty okay.
Yeah.
I like these.
Well, there's 2 more.
Oh, there they are. Yeah.
Right under the other 4.
Nah. I didn't keep scrolling. I was busy opening up the little thumbnails so I could look at these in their HD glory. We got Hextech Renekton, doesn't seem that good, and KDA Akali Prestige Edition.
I think Hextech Renekton looks sick.
He looks really lame in game though.
Oh, really?
And his animations are fucking garbage trash shit.
Hextech Akali looks Prestige
Hextech
Akali.
Whoa.
Prestige Akali looks pretty good though. Damn.
I mean, yeah, but that's just because the Akali skin looks good.
Yeah. I feel like they should just, if they're gonna make a second one, they should just release like more. They should just release all of them with prestige skins.
They might.
I feel like if there's 2, there should be 4. Like 1 was fine, but 2, you might as well just do all of them.
They all just should have been available from the start, honestly. Because it's pretty much just a recolor, right?
They didn't know if they were going to sell, was their excuse. Which I understand.
I didn't realize these hot champion skins would sell well.
Nick, I'm sure they knew they were going to sell well, but I don't think they knew they were going to sell that fucking well.
Okay, that's fair, yeah.
Yeah, like they knew they were gonna do well. They didn't know that fucking KDA Akali was gonna like blow up as much as it did. It was everywhere. People had no idea what League of Legends was. We were like doing art of it and sharing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, they still got stuff to keep in the glass just in case game starts losing money. You bust open that pool party Yari.
Yeah. That's all they
Pool
need.
Party Ari in the Prestige.
Also, there's chromos for Ice King Twitch, Frozen Prince Mundo, Winter Wonder Soraka, Snowman Yi, Snowday Graves, Snowday Malzahar, Snowstorm Sivir, Snowday Bard, and Snow Frostblade Aurelia.
Frostbutt Aurelia?
Her chroma looks the best out of them all. Out of like the ones that have like the gold chromas is what I mean. Because her hair is cool. Yeah.
The Frozen Prince Mundo looks so good.
Mm-hmm. I like all the skins.
He looks like a Disney villain, dude.
He does look like a Disney villain.
Like I want to see him in Frozen too.
I like the Soraka skin a lot. Cool.
Let's do Champion Spotlight or Metakaiser. Champion Spotlight. Which champion you guys want to do?
I haven't played actual League of Legends. I've only played 2 ARAMs, so who's good?
Who's the good right now?
Yeah. What if I look at op.gg and we go by win rate real quick?
Who has the highest win rate?
Cassiopeia, no. Zillion, no. Kled, maybe. Cassidid, no. Ziggs, no. Lucian, maybe.
We could do some Lucian.
I'm fine with Lucian. The Purifier.
He's one of the only 80 carries that Riot said was healthy.
Yeah, do you see that? Where they're like, it's not that like 80 carries are bad, or sorry, it's not that like the top 80 carries are overpowered. It's that the rest are just weak. I think they classified the top ones as like Lucian, Ezreal, Misfortune, and Jhin. I think.
Draven.
Oh, Draven. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But that's just because Draven like fucking bullies. Yeah, let's do some Lucian. I'm down. I'm always down for a Lucian game.
Cool. Why is Lucian good right now, Nick?
Lucian's good right now because he can do damage before he dies. He has a dash, which is kind of core in the current meta, I think, unless you're Draven. I don't think Misfortune's super good, but maybe I'm wrong.
She just wins lane.
Yeah, and then that's another thing is Lucian just wins lane. It's incredibly hard to play against Lucian in lane unless you're playing one of the other top tier 80 carries. But you can ban a couple of those out and then pick Lucian, and that's it. It's been a while since we've done this. Sorry, since I've led a champion spotlight. Hey, his passive, Light Slinger, whenever he uses an ability, Lucian Lucian's next attack becomes a double shot, and then it procs on hit effects. His Q is Piercing Light. Lucian shoots a bolt of piercing light through a target. W is Ardent Blaze. Lucian shoots a missile that explodes in a star shape, marking enemies. He gains movement speed for attacking these marked enemies. His E is Relentless Pursuit. He quickly dashes a short distance. Passive attacks reduce his dash's cooldown. And his ultimate is the Culling. He unleashes a torrent of shots from his weapons. That's not a very good description. You can also E during his ultimate. As a quick little champion-specific thing. We're taking him in the bot lane as an AD carry. One of the very few. We're taking heal, flash heal. And I guess this is where it starts to get a little more interesting is the summon or the keystone selection. I believe the vast majority of Lucian players take press the attack for good reason. However, I'd like to call out a little special something to Klepto, which I don't think is that bad actually, and to Conqueror, which is one of my more favorite rune selections on him.
Just the reason for that is that Klepto got the change not this past patch, but 8.23, where it procs off your next 2 hits. So obviously it synergizes with Lucian's autos, his passive. So that's why Klepto became a viable pick on him.
Yeah, you dash in, proc Klepto twice. It's already very hard to trade against a good Lucian. And yeah, you get free gold too. You do kind of lose a little bit of that lane strength because you're running Klepto instead of a combat effective rune. But I think if you're able to proc it frequently enough, then it's definitely worth it. As for skill order, I believe the consensus is max Q, max E, max W.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of Lucians start 1 point in W, though.
Yeah, I was going to mention that, but I don't... Do you know why?
So there's 2 reasons. One is the fact that it's poke. Sometimes you actually can't proc your Q unless you're just pushing lane. Like you don't have a use for your Q or your E at level 1 a lot of the time in a lot of matchups because people don't just trade with you. So unless you're going to push the lane, you can't get damage. So W actually is poke that you can actually hit. And the other thing is it can check bushes, which is a big thing. So you don't die level 1 and from G's and stuff like that. True. But I think a lot of it is just actually having like some form of poke. But
that's smart. Yeah, and then as for the rest of them, you can run Overheal, but I think the better choice is Triumph, Legend, Alacrity, and Coup de Grace. And then it looks like the overwhelming majority is Mana Flow Band and either Absolute Focus or Gathering Storm. I prefer Gathering Storm. With the attack speed,
is absolute dog shit.
Yeah,
I love how much you hate it, Aiden, because a lot of like pro players take it.
Yeah, I mean it's not bad. It just feels like it's just shitty not having a rune when you lose 30% of your health.
Yeah, it feels so bad then. But then you also look at pro play and it's like, wow, both AD carries are doing nothing but farming and are both at 95% health.
Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. I actually think it's not that bad. Like especially I think it's better on casters than ADs in my opinion because like long range casters you're just sitting back there and poking at full health and you get 40 AP late game or something. Like it's crazy. But
yeah, it's definitely not bad.
It's not shit. Yeah, it's just I think Transcendence is really good, and then Celerity's better, but it's still not that good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I prefer Mana Flow and Gathering Storm. He has a pretty. I don't think it's bad, but his late game is not as good as other AD carries. So Gathering Storm helps him get there. And then you take the attack speed, yellow. Offensive, adaptive force, what is that, blue, purple? And then health, green. Have you seen anyone take anything other than the health per level?
Sometimes I take, like when I'm playing support, I'll take armor sometimes. Like in that, I'll take like double armor if I need it, like on some engaged supports. And then in ARAM, I almost always take, I'll definitely like go like the offensive like damage one in the first one, and then for the other two, I'll almost always go like double MR. I think because ARAM is like super poke heavy, but
I think the time you don't take health is if you really need it. So if you're against a heavy AD or heavy AP that's going to like all in you early, you can definitely double down and really gain some effect from it. Right, like if you're against a Tryndamere or something top, you could just put 2 of them into armor and be significantly more tanky early on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the only... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, people super underestimate like having 10 resist, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. The only, I guess, thing that I could think of taking double armor into, I guess aside from the things that you have listed that I didn't consider, but is the jungle, where I don't think it would be that bad.
No, yeah, I definitely think you should go armor in the jungle over health, because that 15 health isn't going to help you nearly as much as 5 armor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just way more damage reduction.
Just put old Wriggle's lantern back.
Oh, Jesus. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's his skill order. His build is pretty much the same as it used to be. It's Blade of the Rune King first almost every single game into Black Cleaver, and then Zeal item. Make sure you get your boots, which are Berserker Greaves, Tabby, or Merc Treads, and then you round out your build with an Infinity Edge, and then a situational item, which could be just about anything, because Lucian's real good at using that kind of item, using basically anything. I personally don't like Essence Reaver as an item, but I can understand why it would be worth taking on Lucian. So that's something to consider as well.
I feel like it's so jarring because you're ignoring the like big part of it, where it's like you ult and get those like cooldowns back. It's just like having attack damage, cooldown reduction, and mana are all really, really, really good on Lucian. And then the extra bit of like, oh, if I cancel my ult early, then I can get some bonus cooldowns. You're like, eh. But I think everything else on this really good for him.
Mm-hmm. But it's just a personal preference. It's not something that I've ever liked on him, but it's definitely something that a lot of Lucians pick up. So definitely worth considering. As for the Zeal item, I prefer Rapid Fire, but I also think that's just the best Zeal item right now. So, yeah. And then we have Strengths and Weaknesses. Boy, his early game is hella strong.
He's strong. He's mobile.
Yeah.
He's got some solid harass.
He certainly does have some solid harass. His trading pattern is pretty easy to pull off, so it's not... I mean, it's not hard to play Lucian at a base level, but I feel like it's more difficult to play him...
at a cult
at a
level.
very high level.
Yeah, because you got like the Nick Cooper level, which is a little bit underneath that, and then you got the cult level.
Yeah, definitely.
Best Lucian.
He has pretty short range for his weaknesses.
Yes.
He's one of the weaker AD carries late game. So if it does go late, you're gonna get outscaled by the Caitlyn's, the Vaynes, the Kog'Maws. And that short range definitely doesn't help that.
I think it's really the short range, pretty much only that is the reason for that. Because, like, if you both start in range of each other, so Lucian's range, like, he'll win most of those trades, I think. But the issue is they're going to auto you twice before you get into your range, and then the third auto is going to kill you.
Yeah. And honestly, hopefully it's only twice.
Yeah,
might be more.
But I mean, if you can get in there and close on them, I mean, like E auto Q auto, you've just killed an AD carry that game.
Yeah. Let's see, unique champion specific things.
You can EW and like get some animation time down with that, as well as
a
you can
little bit of
your ult.
extra. Yeah. It's hard because he's pretty straightforward for how popular he is, like kit wise at least.
Check bushes with W, it'll save your life. Use your E first if you can, because all of your double shots will lower its cooldown, so you might get it back up at the end of your combo. and you can queue through a minion to poke champions behind it a little bit further than you would if you had to just wanted to click on the champion.
Mm-hmm. This is the champion that kind of I learned that something that Doublelift had said on one of his streams many years ago, like when Lucian first came out, was that especially on Lucian, you kind of have to think of your auto attacks as having a cooldown as well, and that cooldown gets lower the more attack speed you get. But early game, they're worth a spell or half a spell, something like that. And on a champion like Lucian, where auto attacking is so reliant and spell weaving and mixing your attacks with your spells, make sure you're autoing between your spells, because that's a huge portion of your damage, and the smoothness of Lucian's kit comes from hitting those light slinger autos after using a spell. You don't want to use your spells and then start autoing, because you're just a lesser champion. You're a Caitlyn with lesser range and no headshot at that point. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that's really it. Lucian real good right now.
Yeah.
And I feel like his best skin is the what is it called? The Wild Wild West one. High Noon Lucian.
Yeah. I think it's I don't know, actually. Let me look.
He's got a lot of very good skins.
It's probably High Noon, right? Yeah, it's High Noon. What about the blue recolor of his base skin?
Blue Prime Lucian?
Yeah.
Poggers.
That's the best one of the 3 recolors.
I like the yellow.
No.
I like the yellow.
Well, yellow's my favorite color, so.
Then you can't say that you're going Blucian.
But you never go Blucian.
Not anymore.
Or
Not
ever.
for a long time.
I miss Trinity Force Lucian. I still build it when we're not taking things seriously, but it's very fun to go a Sheen item on him.
I prefer League Cast Lucian.
Nice.
Thanks.
Let's get into the roundtable.
Yeah, last week's question was, what genre of game should Riot make with League of Legends IP? Shivani said a Pokemon Go style game where AR Gyarados pop out of IRL bushes at you. Joe said, Netver said only video games. Let's see a tabletop RPG core rule book and campaign setting deal in Runeterra, different classes and races from around the world, maybe a few storyline books that you can play through. Eric said mobile gacha games. Every chapter can be a different champion's backstory, so they got years of content. 1 stars are minions, 2 stars are small jungle camps, 3 stars are baseline for champions that you level and evolve into 5 stars. Dragons, barons, and large camps are what you farm for materials in guild rankings. 5v5 PvP. Earn gold in the game to purchase items for your team. Earn or buy essence, which is used to summon champions, or obtain other resources that you're too lazy to farm / wait for. They got it all there, man.
I play that game.
Yeah. Bonnie said 2D fighter, easy. That's what they should be making. David said a TCG. And then from our Discord, Dr. Otter said, let's face it, we all hate League. It's however fun to play with friends. I propose Riot to make a Mario Party style game so I can not only hate League, but hate my friends at the same time. Our very own Chris Puner said, MMO, please. And then Steven said, dating sim. I'd play a League dating sim.
Hell yeah.
This week's roundtable question is from an old host, Kevin. He said, if KDA was a 90s boy band, which champions would be the band's members?
Look at these hosts being involved. We got Chris, we got Kevin.
Matt commented last 2 weeks.
Oh, true.
Yeah, he did.
Hell yeah. I think, okay, so I'm going to say right off the bat, Kane should be in the boy band.
Kane's the bad boy, yeah.
The Shadow Assassin Kane should be in the boy band.
Yeah. So like...
Sorry, go ahead.
No. So I was just going to say, like, you've got, like, in the boy band, you've got, like, the archetypes, right? You've got, like, the characters. So you got, like, the bad boy, right? And I think that's Kane.
Well, I'm gonna say Kane's in the band, right? But one of his like gimmicks is that he has an alter persona called Rast, and that's when he gets like crazy.
Okay.
Yikes.
So, I mean, no, I definitely see it, but like, yeah, especially in the scope of a '90s boy band, right? It'd be like he's like up on stage like being Bad Boy Kane, and then he puts on like sunglasses, and it's like I'm extra bad boy now.
Well, it's like in K-pop bands, you have the like tomboy rapper of the group, right? But that's Rast, you know?
Nah, dude, This is a '90s boy band, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but this
'90s
is like
boy bands don't have a rapper. They have a bad boy and like a smooth like gentleman and like the nice guy and like a goofy guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Kane will just be the edgy guy.
All right, so I pulled up a little thing. It's like, what are the archetypes in a boy band? It's got 6. So the next
Okay.
one is the baby face. That's like Ezreal, right?
Jace. Oh, Ezreal's good too.
No, Ezreal, because Jace is gonna be like the suave one. He's got like the classic.
Are you sure
Not-
Colton didn't
not
write
baby
this question?
We'll go Ezreal. Sure, that'll be fine.
I don't know, Aiden. Do you have a better vote for?
I do.
Do you have some
Oh,
people
no.
you want to include?
I do, because it's what Riot's actually going to do, and I feel bad answering it, but I think it's actually good. Because in the KDA like skin reveal thing, they're hunting down 4 guy characters, which I'm assuming is what they're going to tease as the boy band.
Oh.
Yeah, which is Jhin, Ezreal, Jace, Echo, or JE, or GG,
Oh man.
which is probably what they're going to do.
Ugh.
Those
And
are,
I think
mean, those are
I think
good.
those characters are fine, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fine.
But this is for us, right?
That's
We
what I
got
think.
Kane. We got
I think
Ezreal.
Jace is perfect.
I think
Yeah, I
Jace
think
is
Jace
the
is
the
good, too.
suave, because that's the third one on the list. Is the Rico
Okay.
suave.
But I also think Rakan would fit that very well.
Rakan's
Ooh,
gay,
okay.
though.
Maybe Rakan can be the silly one.
Yeah, he could be the goofball.
Mm-hmm.
I thought,
so
I
there's
thought Jhin
still-
was the goofball.
There's
Serial killer. Haha.
there's still meet the parents and the interesting like ... interesting one. So who's
Okay,
the
what does
meet
that
the
mean?
parents?
This isn't
boy band
Cosmopolitan.
Yeah,
Huh?
what the fuck is this?
Meet the
Colton?
parents.
guy? Dude, this is
Is this like relationship goals, whatever?
No, I just googled boy band archetypes, and this is the first thing that came
Tell
up.
us the website. Tell us the website name.
Cosmopolitan.com.
collegemagazine.com.
I thought for 1 second.
Nick's like, college, Cosmo, same.
Almost. Meet
Pretty
the parents.
similar.
Jarvan? Let's say or Garen. Jarvan or Garen.
What does
Nah, dude, Jarvan.
That's like the
He
ultimate.
means he's a
relationship,
respectable
you know?
gentleman.
You're gonna take him home to your parents.
Yeah, and they'd be like, oh, this is a nice boy. It's not like all of those bad
It's
boys
not like
you
Kane.
normally date. Yeah. Dude, no, Jarvan for sure. Because, like, imagine he just, like, he, like, does his spear drop, but it's just a mic stand. Ooh.
Spear drop, but it's just a bouquet of roses.
Yeah, there you go. And who's the ... interesting one?
Probably
I don't-
Jin. Probably Jin.
He doesn't talk much.
He's got that serial killer vibe.
She's going
Hell
on
yeah.
about 4 a bunch.
Cool.
That's pretty cool.
So if you want to tell us who's in your League of Legends boy band, hit us up on our Facebook page, send us an email, mail@castpodcast.com, or come into our Discord and post in our roundtable section.
Cool. Cheese pick.
Yeah. So cheese pick this week, Jungle Kale. So they've
Yikes.
recently reworked Rageblade, and I think Kale is one of the few characters that it's better on now, because it's just like double shred. So instead of having to lane Kale, just boom, jungle it, farm up, get a ton of money, and get those resources going, and then late game just become a character that does way too much fucking damage.
Late game, yikes.
Yeah, late game. What is it? I don't even know. We're gonna pair it with Akawi cheese, which is
It's
like
pronounced
a middle...
Akali.
Yeah, Akawi cheese, which
Akawi.
is like
My favorite
It's like-
champagne is Akawi.
it's like a Middle Eastern cheese from it could be cows, goats, or sheep's milk. It's got like an elastic, kind of smooth texture. It's got it's a white mild, milky, and salty are some of the descriptive words. Yeah, so on Jungle Kale, you'll want to go the attack speed jungle item into Rage Blade, into probably Nashor's Tooth, and then some AP. Again, if you get that far, you'll probably have already won because it's so good. You'll take Lethal Tempo and the... I'm trying to think secondary tree, what you'd want to take with that.
Maybe the ultimate reduction one?
Probably, yeah, domination with ultimate, and then you'd take like cheap shot because you slow them with your Q. But anyway,
Maybe
yeah,
eyeball
you
collection would be good.
Yeah, that would also be good. But anyway, I mean, basically you're just gonna farm up until you get like 1 or 2 items, and then you do 1 billion damage. So that's Jungle Kale.
Nice. Cheese or shit, Aiden?
If we were in a different meta where late game was actually a thing, I think it would be like pretty tasty cheese, but it's a little bit sour.
Ooh, a little bit past its prime.
Yeah.
You know, it's not past its prime.
You?
The LCS. Well, that's not
Mithy.
true.
Wait, no, he's washed up.
Dark Russian Mithy.
Yeah, Dardoch is now on Optic, Rush is now on Echo Fox, and Mithy's on Origin. So Dardoch, I don't know is what's happening with the whole Meteos thing. Either Meteos got fucked and now Meteos is out of a job because Meteos went to Optic because he wanted to be starter jungler. So he might get cucked there. Or, theory, Dardoch's playing AD carry for the team. Big brain, which I think would be really cool. In another turn of events, Echo Fox, being the most hated Oregon NA, picked up Rush the Kind Boy. So how does that work? I don't know. We'll have to see how fans...
It all cancels out.
Honestly, though, it probably will. That's the sad part. And then Mithy is now on Origin, so that's pretty cool. So he's out of TSM on Origin, and that's probably good for him.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Male fight. Also, wait, All Stars is coming up soon, right?
Soon.
When does that start?
I think it's this weekend.
December 6th to 8th.
Yeah, they
it
haven't
starts
really.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, they haven't really mentioned much about it, have they?
Tomorrow until Saturday.
You guys
Yeah.
ready for Bang cosplay?
Yeah,
Oh, true. I forgot. Nice.
they're both
Zion
cosplaying
or
Zaya.
Khan?
No, they're both doing Zaya.
Wait,
Oh,
they're
are
both
they?
doing Zaya? I thought one
Yeah.
was doing Zaya and one was doing Rakan.
No, because they both wanted to do Zaya. So Sneaky's doing like a girly Zaya, and Bang's doing like a gender bend Zaya.
Okay.
So Rakan. Well, cool. That'll be fun to see.
Have they announced the events and stuff? I'm looking at it right now. 1 second.
I don't know.
I hope there's a Nexus Splits game. That'd be so good.
So there's NA with influencers versus EU with influencers, like event, and then there's a bunch of 1v1s. It looks like, and then Nexus Splits games, then tandem mode games, then Earth games, and then a bunch of 1v1s, then tandem influencers, Nexus Splits influencers. That looks like it's it. That's kind of fun though.
An East versus West showdown.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Is that on a different day?
I'm not sure. I'm just looking on the learn more, and they show they show 1v1 tournament, charity 2v2, East versus West, regional rivalry show matches, mixed team alternate modes, and that's Nexus Splits, Earth, and Tandem, and then you can earn rewards for watching.
Have they even announced who all the like people who are going are?
Who's participating? Let's see.
Where the I guess like we know like the team, like the players who are going, I think, but do we know the influencers? and stuff?
Yes. So from NA, so NA is Double of Sneaky and Licorice for players. Cutie Pie, Voy Boy, Shifter, High, Bunny Fufu, Night Blue 3, and Lux Bunny.
Yeah.
For EU, Caps, Broxa, and Jizuke. Wicked and Gripex, I think, are the names that would stand out to us.
Mm-hmm.
And then LPL is Uzi, MLXG, Rookie. And then I don't think any of the names would stand out to us for the non-players. We got Faker, Bang, and Peanut from Korea. We got Captain Jack, Madlife, Shy.
Watch.
Non-players. Watch, yeah. And
Yeah.
then Turkey, Dumbledoge, Broken Blade, Brazil is BRTT and Bracken.
Yeah, there's like a
Vietnam.
ton of players I don't know, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah. I think it'll be
Should
fun.
be
Remember
really
when
fun.
people were like upset there's going to be a bunch of influencers, but then it ended up being fucking I'm a cutie pie voyboy shifter. Like, come on.
Yeah,
All
for
X
sure.
Pros?
For sure.
Like, that's what I mean. Like, it's literally just better. Like, having Mad Life and Captain Jack there, it's just better having, like, allowing them to, like, go, hey, instead of having just all pro players, we're going to have some people that you probably actually want to see there. So,
Well, it's like, okay, so it's probably fun to watch competitive players play for fun, right? But there's still going to be that air of competitiveness among the players. But you think Cutie Pie's going there, like, to do anything more than to have fun? Hell no. Like,
yeah.
ugh. And I think that's
Yeah, if you want to see him play serious, you watch him in the WWE.
untrue. But yeah, it's pretty fun. Yeah, that's it for the LCS section, which takes us to Mailfire. We have one email from Deluxe80. Howdy, Leaguecast. My IGN is Deluxe80, and I usually respond via roundtable questions in the Discord. Love listening to you guys, but occasionally hearing Aiden on 2 different podcasts messes with me sometimes. I decided to make this email in regards to the player scouting with NALCS. Right now, there is a low-key organization rising up called NACE, and essentially they are working with a bunch of colleges to try to set it up as the esports equivalent of the NCAA. I know that NACE is planning on announcing some big schools pretty soon to get at least Overwatch and League sessions set up for next year. How do you think this new collegiate system will affect domestic scouting in the next few years, or even the NALCS as a whole? Of course, there's not too much information now, but wild speculation is always fun to listen to. Sincerely, Deluxe80. Isn't there already a college?
There is a
Champions
ULAL.
Series?
Like,
Collegiate League.
that's the thing. Like, ULAL has been a thing for 5 years, and very few of the players get scouted because, well, first of all, they're in university or college. Like, the biggest problem is, say they're in their first or second year. Sorry. Say they're in their first, second year, they either have to ditch and then join a team, you know what I mean, which isn't good,
Yeah.
or they finish up their like college or university career like for a couple of years, and then they are either maybe not in their prime, or maybe they want to go and get a real job, or like, you know what I mean? It's like such an awkward thing.
It is, yeah. I feel like this is like the collegiate system is kind of just a way to play competitively, but not at a level that requires full-time job effort.
Yeah, and I think honestly it's just the fact that like they're just not there, I don't think, in terms of talent. Like it's uncommon to see any player in like a collegiate team that would actually be good enough to make it on an LCS team.
I mean,
Well,
sure,
like-
but there's always those players, right? Like, there's always one or two who could. But I think the difference between the NCAA and what this seems to be is that the NCAA requires students to stay in school for a certain number of years because you can't have 30-year-old men who have been playing in the NFL for 8 years tackling a 19-year-old coming out of high school. Like, he'll die. So you get that step up between like a high school work program up to a college level and then up to an NFL level. But that's not really there in League. You know, if you're coming out of high school, you can learn the same strats and play at the same level as LCS players. You just have to be that good.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's such an awkward thing. Like, the last player that at least I know of that was on like a ULAL team, I think the thing that we see more often, Nick, is that pro players that used to be pro playing on ULAL teams, like going back to school. But like the last player that I've seen go from ULAL to pro was Cali Trolls on Team 8 in like season 3.
Oh, that was a while ago.
Yeah. So like he went, hey, I guess I'm gonna stop doing to school for like a year, and then he played on like Team 8 for a year. Then he went back to school. But like I'm looking at the rosters from the 2017 season, and there's players like Mega Zero, Papa Chu, like just like some names that you know from like old JJ, like people that like used to play on pro teams. You know what I mean? Or like
Yeah,
at least were
yeah.
like names.
Who still play League, but not at a level high enough to be in the LCS.
Yeah, it's almost like, hey, I'm good enough at League, I can maybe get my college paid for. Like,
That's cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a weird thing, I guess, is the problem. But
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe they will. I don't know. Maybe it will work, but I doubt it. I think it's really cool though. I'd love to be on a college team for League. That'd be fun.
yeah, I think it's good having competition either way. Like even if it doesn't lead to anything, I think it's cool having that, I guess.
I mean, yeah, we participate in tournaments even though we're not trying to make it to the LCS. But it's fun to approach the game from that competitive mindset every once in a while.
For sure. And like just playing on a dedicated team is like it's a different way to play the game that you don't really experience outside of tournaments.
Yeah,
Typically.
for sure. But thanks to Lex. That was a good email. That'll do it for episode 356. Thank you guys for listening. If you like us, you can follow us on Twitter at LeagueCast and at LeagueCastFrost. Facebook is LeagueCast. ts.leaguecastpodcast.com is where you can come talk to us on TeamSpeak. You can get the Discord information from us via email or messaging us on League. Mail at leaguecastpodcast.com is where you can send us emails, twitch.tv/bluebasket and /KingLardot are where we stream, and you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/LeagueCast if you actually want to support us. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.